Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is your boy CueBanks on Instagram. Today we're going to be answering some very in-depth questions. Like, I want to actually spend time to answer a bunch of questions that my followers on IG actually sent me. I chose about 15 questions in total that I'm going to actually cover like right now. And yeah, so I feel like it should be very insightful for people that's actually getting into trading and is wondering about certain situations that you might come across and how you could handle it based off of, my experience and whatnot. So let's get it started.
Would you ever consider, in my position, quitting your job and taking the leap? If yes, what steps would you take prior to quitting? If no, what is missing for you to feel good about taking the leap? What would you change about me and my situation personally and financially to better set up my success?
Okay, so I feel like this. I have a friend that actually told me this. He says, when your craft or your business needs you more than your job, that's when the right time is to actually quit your job. Because think about it, at the end of the day, if you quit your job, they're gonna hire somebody else within like about a week or so. So at the end of the day, you're still just a number at your job. If you want to actually, take full control of your life, you have to actually take that leap of faith and, really trust in what you actually are trying to do. Because if you don't, I feel like you're gonna feel comfortable at a job, and in no time, it's been 2, 3, 4, 5 years versus actually taking that leap of faith and then actually going about your journey from there. But if you don't actually just take that leap of faith, it's gonna be very hard to actually step away from that job. But before you step away from that job, you have to have some kind of savings, as far as some kind of, let's say 3-4 months worth of bills. That could include rent, that could include insurance, that could include car payments, that could include anything that you pretty much pay for every single month. I feel like make sure you save up enough money so even when you quit your job, you could pretty much last for 3, 4, 5 months with your savings. All right, because when I actually quit Target, I had about like $7,000-8,000, which means that I had maybe four or 5 months worth of bills. So at the same time, I focused a fucking lot. I had 24 hours in my day versus about, let's say, 16 hours to actually dedicate to my craft. So at the same time, like, I actually spent 24 hours a day making sure that, listen, like, I have to make this shit work because time is running out. You know what I'm saying? I have only 3 months now, only 2 months now, only 1 month now to actually get my shit right. So I feel like it's a big step to take, but at the end of the day, you have to actually sit there and think, like, is your job more important than your own skill set that you want to build outside? Because remember, your job makes you have a cap income. You are on somebody else's time, not on your own time, and you shouldn't be actually trying to work towards your craft at work, because that's not on your time, that's on the business time. So I'll actually just make sure that I have my situation, or like my financial situation sorted out before I take that leap of faith. Because once you do, it gets kind of scary, but once you figure out how to actually go about things, it's a very smooth process.
Second part of the question, would you bother with FTMO or would you just build your own capital? If yes, what are your tips to pass the challenge? 10% per month is normally considered a great month and hard to achieve without hitting risk limits. If no, what repels you from the prop firm road?
Okay, for one, if you could get capital from a company that offers capital, why not? There's not really like a lose-lose situation here. It's more like a win-win, maybe because a company is giving you funding based off of your current skill. Back when I first started trading, like 2014, 2015, FTMO wasn't even there. So new traders that's actually upcoming, and then they have the skill, but they just don't have the capital, which is pretty common. If you have the opportunity, just take it. Like, I see nothing negative about enrolling for FTMO if you need capital or if you need funding of some sort, knowing that you have the skill set to actually make something happen. If you don't wanna, if you actually have too much ego now, right? This is where the ego comes in. Like, if you feel like you have too much ego to sign up for FTMO, which is like a funding site for people that are starting to trade and whatnot. I think they offer up to like $100,000 in a trading account. You have to pass like a certain test or some kind of like that. I know a lot of people that actually do it. A lot of people in Wall Street Academy actually take advantage of it. But if you have the opportunity to take it, if you are gonna stick to your ego the entire time, I feel like it's gonna like hold you back into a potential way on how to actually get out of your situation.
Someone who's been here, done this, to give me just a little guidance and direction, and I feel like I can achieve great things. That's basically the whole question, Q. I appreciate you or your team reading this.
Definitely.
If you pick me, I'm gonna follow your advice to a T.
Definitely.
I want you to stay in contact with me because I swear I'm gonna make 1 billion soon,
Hey,
and do it using your advice. When that happens, I'm gonna buy a second pista. Never missed a goal. It's also someone I hit.
Okay. Okay. All right. I love their mentality. I love that they believe in themselves because even like on the Wall Street Academy book, it says, believe you're great before anyone else does, which is probably the most important thing that you have to do in your trading journey. Like, you shouldn't let someone tear you down or tear your dreams down based off of what they think that you're capable of. So the way how that person thinks, definitely they could accomplish it, but at the same time, everybody can talk. Everybody can say motivational words and whatnot, but are you gonna be that person that's gonna take action from what I'm saying? Because I'm actually taking time to tell you like, yo, this is what to fucking do. Take advantage of it, you know what I'm saying? Take action based off of what I'm telling you because I've been there. Like I've been at a job, I've been, working friggin' 40, 50 hours an entire week, getting paid $300. Like, I've been there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm literally telling you this from experience. All you gotta do is just take fucking action, listen to a person that has already experienced that side of things and has gotten out of it. So that's what it comes down to, just taking action based off of my advice. All right, so thank you for your question.
Question number 2. I made the transition to full-time trader about a year ago. I'm looking to move at the end of this year. I generate about 3 times my desired budget for rent, as I know most places require. My question is, as a full-time trader / entrepreneur, how do you go about showing proof of income with apartment or condos? Do you just show previous bank statements, tax returns, create LLC, or etc.? I've heard mixed reviews where some places shy away from the job title trader because it's gambling in their eyes or not a fixed income. Thanks. Love to hear your response.
Okay. For one, never, ever, ever, ever say that you're a trader. Don't ever tell banks that you're a trader. Don't ever tell an apartment complex or a condo complex that you're a trader, because a lot of people don't really understand what a trader is. You could say investor. You could say consulting. You could say a bunch of other stuff, but do not say trader, because at the end of the day, like, trading is, they look at it as a form of gambling. We know what it is, but they're never gonna understand. You know what I'm saying? So don't even try to bust your head even trying to make them understand it, because it's not gonna work. The best way on how to actually go about that is bank statements, bank statements, bank statements, bank statements. A lot of apartment complexes, like, they ask for, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6 months of consistent income, all right? And then you're gonna have to pay 3 times the amount for the rent. So like, you gotta cover like 3, 4 months of rent to even get qualified for that. You can also show a tax return as well. Like, that means that if you're actually organized like how you should be, you could actually show a tax return. And the best way on how to actually go about that, in my opinion, everyone's gonna have their own way on how to actually go about the whole LLC thing. You could start a business account, right? Start a business account, withdraw your profits into that business account, and pretty much pay yourself based off of that. So like, let's say if you're making $5,000 a month trading, right? Pay yourself a bi-weekly salary of maybe $1,000 or even $1,200 or $1,500, just so they see that you're working for a company, the company you own, but it looks better on paper knowing that you actually work for an LLC and you're actually getting paid on the regular. So I feel like that's the best way on how to actually go about it. If you go about it the opposite way, which is just one account that you're just pretty much throwing funds into and pretty much try to use that as your bank statements, it's not going to work out, because they don't see that as a reliable source. So definitely go the business route, open up a business account, sign up for a W-2, which is pretty much you're going to be an employee of your business, and then pay yourself a bi-weekly salary, just so you actually can show that you're actually getting paid from your company. So it's like a person working for, let's say, Walmart, and then they're paying employees based off of working at Walmart. Like, you just own the company itself and you're paying yourself based off of that overall income. So broker account into your business account, and then pretty much pay yourself through that business account into your checking account. That's the best way on how to actually go about that when it comes to getting an apartment or a condo. When it comes to getting a house now, a house is a whole different ballgame. A house, you actually need, that 5-6 years worth of tax returns to actually then be able to use your trading money as a reliable source of income. Because when they look at entrepreneurs or people that's like self-employed and whatnot, they don't try to work with us too much. You know what I'm saying? Because for them, they see our income as it could be good one year and terrible the next year. So it's not really as consistent, which means that you have to fucking try to work towards, making more every single year, making more every single month, so they can see the growth in your income, and they won't turn you down based off of you being a self-employed person or owning your own business and paying yourself based off of that. So that's pretty much like the best way on how to actually go about that right there. So hopefully that question helped you out, and I appreciate your question.
My question to you is, how have you evolved and how has your circle evolved the more you see success in the markets, in business and life? I'm not worried about the grind or the charts. That's self-explanatory. If you want it bad enough, you'll work for it. Genuinely curious on how you've handled the fame/publicity, new people coming into your life for the better or worse, your overall atmosphere with those who have been with you since day one, and even some people you've come to know and embrace as even family members along the journey.
Yeah.
Thanks for all that you do, man. I'll be forever in your debt. Without your course, I would still be clueless in the markets. Thank you for teaching and skill set and opportunity achieving generational wealth.
Hey, okay. For one, I must say that if you have friends before trading, they should still be your friend after trading, regardless of how frequently you guys speak. I have certain friends that at times I don't speak to for weeks and weeks and weeks, but when we actually do link up and that kind of stuff, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? It's like we haven't even missed a beat, which is what a true friend is. It's not like they're saying, damn man, you don't fuck with me anymore, this and that, this and that, this and that, this and that. They know that you are busy. They know that you are grinding. They know that you are focused on a certain path that you're trying to actually succeed at. So I feel like friends wise, true friends are gonna be there before the success and after the success, regardless of how often you guys speak. And when it comes to, I feel like that definitely comes with the fact that I'm a person that is very, very good at what I do. It's what it is. It's just like the fact that you have to be real careful on who you bring into your circle, because you don't know their true intention. Like they might be trying to leech off you for money. They might just trying to be around you for just a flex. You don't know. So I feel like you have to just be very, very cautious of who you bring into your life, what kind of energy that you're surrounding yourself with, and trying to keep a positive energy. And regardless of what kind of person comes into your life, try to always, I wouldn't say stay humble all the time, because at the same time you deserve to turn up, but just keep a close eye on a person's intentions, like when they randomly come into your life, and try to actually stick around people that aren't trying to invade your energy and try to tear you down behind your back and whatnot. So I feel like it's a very iffy situation. I mean, I've ran into people over the years or whatnot that actually they came in and then they were negative, you know what I'm saying, and then they kind of fucked me up. Some stole, some just came in and just fuck shit up or try to sabotage like what I have going on. But I mean, it's all love. The money can be made back, and cut people off quick. Once you actually have any kind of clue that a person might be negative or like not good for your circle, just cut them off and keep on moving, honestly. And like when it comes to haters, like how I made a post the other day on IG, I was like, it doesn't make sense when people hate when all of a sudden you have success inside the world. You know what I'm saying? The same kind of information that I actually use to read the charts and pretty much make my money, I literally show it. Like I literally have a course to pretty much teach people what I do. So it's not as if I'm like holding what I know back. Like I literally show people like, yo, this is what this is what I did. You could do it too. Just follow this flow of things, and you could literally make what I make. You know what I'm saying? There's people that don't have the patience factor to actually want to stick through that journey to actually get the kind of results that they actually are looking for, because they actually just try to rush the process and like rush to make the kind of profits that I make, but not understanding that, yo, listen, like I've been I've literally, and I always say literally, I've been doing this every single day since like November 2014. Like every day. Like it hasn't been like one day most of the time that I don't go and look at the charts to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? Like every single day in some kind of way I'm on the charts. I'm actually trying to educate myself on some kind of candlestick analysis, fundamental analysis, structure, learn how to use certain tools on the charts. Pretty much try to actually put a lot of time into my craft. People have the energy to pour into video games and Fortnite and this and that, but they don't have that same kind of energy to put into trading. But knowing that this can make you money, some people don't really understand that. So I feel like some people just don't want it bad enough, you know, and you can't change a person's drive just by talking to them sometimes, because at the end of the day, like they might just think that you have a cheat code that you're not telling them, but in reality, you just put in a lot of fucking work and you have a bit more experience than the other person because they just got started. And the same way how a person is just getting started in 2020, I was just getting started in 2014. So I'm just ahead of the curve. You know, nothing different, just that I'm just years and years and years and years ahead because I was been doing this and a person was just starting this and they expect to see the same kind of results from a person that has been doing this for 6 years. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like just make sure that you understand that this is not an overnight process. Haters are gonna hate, it's part of the game. You know, just stay focused, keep your energy positive, and you know, pray for the people that hate. Honestly, it comes with the territory. You know, new levels, new devils. That's what I say. All right.
Growing as a trader every day, I would like to hear some opinions about where can you start investing your profits, and while you're growing like 10 to 20K, things like that. I would love to hear some feedback about that. Thank you so much.
Okay, so first things first, a lot of people under the misconception that, you know, 10 to 20K is like this, right? You have to be able to fucking make profit first. You have to be able to actually catch moves first. You have to be able to actually understand the flow of the market, being able to actually scale in orders, being able to pretty much, you know, make consistent profit to even think about 10K to 20K. So the money shouldn't even be your main focus. The main focus should be, do I understand the market? Do I understand the movements of the market? Do I understand my projections based off of like what I'm trading and looking for? Do I understand all that stuff? And then the money comes second. You know what I'm saying? Once you understand all that and then you're actually making consistent profit inside the market, and then you are able to withdraw and then reinvest into other ways, then you can worry about that side of things. Like with me, I like to actually reinvest my money into like Bitcoin and cryptos and that kind of stuff. So like when it comes down to it, you can make profit from the market, withdraw into BTC, into a crypto exchange, and then pretty much make profit based off of the movement of BTC. So like, it's like you're literally going from a market, which is the currency market and the index market and whatnot, into a market, which is crypto. So you have an area of profit margin that you could actually make based off of you actually investing at the right time into cryptos. So that's what like my first main investments were as I was making profit. And later in time and everything, like actually help invest in other small businesses and that kind of stuff. But like that's like way like down the line. But when it comes to just the trading portion of things, I go full-fledged in cryptos to make more profit before I actually withdraw my profit into my bank account. So I feel like that's the best way on how to actually go about it. Some people say, hey, invest into real estate. I feel like you should definitely wait. Don't fucking worry about real estate until you have, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to then pretty much pour into it so you could actually make some kind of significant profit. All right, some people said that you could actually get into real estate with no money down, but a lot of times it's not really motivating. It's more motivating when you actually are saving up capital based off of your skill set that you actually have into the market, and then pretty much save money on the outside to then reinvest into real estate if you're into that at a later time. But don't try to stress yourself to invest into real estate, even though a lot of people say that. I just started investing into like land and that kind of shit. Before that, I didn't give a fuck about real estate and that kind of shit because it's slow money. Like we can make thousands of dollars a day in the markets. Why would I wait freaking a year to make that same kind of profit on my real estate investment? It doesn't make sense. And plus you're putting up a lot more capital to make barely anything. So I feel like it only means something when you're actually investing a good amount into real estate. Some people might have different views on that. I personally don't really care, but that's how I actually go about it. I don't really like to invest in real estate unless I'm actually investing a good amount so I can make some kind of significant money off of my investment.
Question 5 is, what advice do you have for an individual that's grown as an overall person and trader? Although it depends on your financial situation, do you personally think it will benefit the trader to spend as much time possible being involved? Equal backtesting, reading articles, journaling, watching webinars, trading? Or do you feel that having a routing and dedicating amount of hours to the market times the amount of time for yourself to enjoy your life, family time, which do you recommend as to what you work for?
Okay, so first things first, about personal time. That's the beginning part of trading. You have to focus on you. You have to focus on pretty much being able to be selfish to a certain extent. And I wouldn't even call it selfish, I call it self-love, because a lot of people try to invest so much time into other people that they don't invest time into themselves to actually be able to grow themselves. You have to be able to, take some time to really think about like, hey, do I really love myself to actually, distance myself a tad bit, not heavy, just enough so I could actually focus on my craft, so I could actually grow in that certain skill set. You have to be able to grow as a person to become a better trader. That's like what it is. Like when I was about 21 or so, I actually moved out of my parents' house. I got a place, and that made me actually, be a little bit more secluded to focus and to actually really, really grind and not get distracted from outside influences and that kind of stuff. It could be friends, it could be family, and I could focus on what I have to get done to better myself. And if I didn't do that, I feel like, I wouldn't have made as much progress as I did because I wasn't actually thinking about it as self-love. So I wouldn't call it selfish, I call it self-love. If you actually care about getting to where you want to be, because you have to engulf yourself, right? No pun intended. Engulf yourself into the craft, engulf yourself into webinars, engulf yourself into the information, engulf yourself into wanting to learn more about the markets, engulf yourself into backtesting, engulf yourself into everything that deals with the chart so you can pretty much get more keen to like what's going on. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a lack of information, lack of understanding versus a person that's pretty much focusing on that certain craft every single day. So in time, which can be a lot shorter than some people, you actually have the second nature of speaking on the information, understanding the information, versus some people that only dedicate an hour a day or 2 hours a day, versus a person that say, yo, listen, I'm fucking all in. And they're going 15 hours a day, studying, backtesting, reading, on the charts, trading. And you have to be able to trade. You have to trade to actually get better. It could be on demo, it could be on live. You have to stick into the market so you can pretty much understand more of like the market environment. Once you are skipping a certain season of market environment, I feel like you actually are skipping out on certain things that you would have needed to actually get better as a trader. So if you go 2-3 months without trading, you missed a lot of movements. You missed a lot of moves. You missed a lot of ways on how the market was supposed to be analyzed to actually be able to understand certain things on predicting the direction of the market. So even though you might not be trading live or might be trading small accounts and everything else, at least you're trading, at least you're putting time into the craft, no matter if it's live or demo. At least you're actually sticking around into the trading world, so you actually experience those different market environments to actually be able to understand how you should be trading. Because every single year, and people that have been trading as long as me and everything know that the markets in 2014 were a lot different than the markets in 2020. The markets in 2015 were a lot different than 2016, and then 2016 was a lot different than 2017. So I feel like you have to be able to actually really focus on just being around, putting time into the craft to actually be able to understand more of what you might need to become a better trader in the future. Because me personally, I've never skipped a season of trading. I've always traded every month to a certain extent. I've never missed a lot. So like when it came to like new market conditions and trading cryptos and trading all these new things that actually come over time, I was already on game because I was already a part of the environment. I've never skipped any season yet when it came to trading. So I was already on point with everything that I was doing. So I could pretty much grow as a trader, and I could actually train my eyes better to see certain market patterns and that kind of stuff versus a person that is only trading once every single month. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'll actually go about that. Fall in love with the process, fall in love with the craft, fall in love with, you know, wanting to learn more, and fall in love with the information so you can pretty much, you know, understand things and have that second nature with the information, so you could pretty much eventually you know, come to a point that, you know, you could do this by the back of your hand. All right, self-love. All right, thanks for the question.
To compound my profits to a 7 through 8 figure account in a broker.
For one, I doubt you're gonna do that. I doubt you're gonna do that. And it's not even like I'm hating, but at the same time, people just think of, they look at a compound calculator and then they're like, yo, I could take $100 and flip it to friggin' 25 million from compounding. I'm like, yo, listen, it's a good concept, it's a great concept, but are you even consistent enough to even do that? Are you even consistent enough to actually make back to back profits to even make that possible? Be able to make some kind of profits first before you can even think about compounding. Be able to actually be consistent enough to even, you know, think about compounding, because the thing that statement is actually trying to say, they're not taking in consideration losses. They're not taking in consideration, you know, market conditions. Like, they're not taking in consideration a lot of things. So I feel like you have to just sit there and think like, yo, am I even consistent enough to even compound an account? Personally, I feel like you should just trade what you see and like not what you think. Just flow with whatever kind of profits that you make for the day or the week, and not even stretch yourself for compounding, because you can make a lot more money if you just pretty much just focus and you know, base your order sizes off of the kinds of reliability of certain patterns and whatnot, versus a person that's pretty much compounding. They're upping their lot size for a certain amount of pips every single time, versus a person that's pretty much not even worried about that. They'll make money along the way, and they're not stressed about, hey, like, I have to cash this amount of pips for today, versus just, hey, if the move is actually still valid for a continuation pattern or that kind of stuff, I'm gonna hold my trade and make what I can make off of this certain move. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about the whole compounding factor. Like, it's a good concept, don't get me wrong, it's a great concept, but fuck that shit, personally. Don't really care for compounding. Yeah, thanks.
You give to someone who struggles with mental aspect of trading, fear, confidence, second guessing, etc.
Okay, so first things first, I feel like you have to be confident as a person. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a person that's like, oh, I'm not too sure if I could do this and this and that, this and that. I don't know, and expect to make a lot of money in trading. You have to be a person like, yo, listen, like, I know what I've been studying. I'm pretty much confident about my comprehension level of the information that I've been reading about and back testing and whatnot, and I'm going into this market knowing that, yo, I'm about to fuck some shit up. So you have to be confident as a person to then be confident inside the market. You can't be a person that's timid or shy and doubtful of what you know and expect to do good in trading. You have to be all that plus more in real life, and then apply it to the actual market life. All right. Even like when it comes to patience, same concept. Are you patient as a person? Do you start driving and start cussing a person out because the light just turned green and they're not moving? Or are you a person that pretty much seen that light turn green and just wait a couple more seconds and then they actually go, versus cussing them out? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all about just, you know, thinking about that. Like, are you patient and confident in real life to then be able to apply it to the charts? Because if not, it's not gonna work. So I feel like definitely don't doubt your comprehension for what you've been studying every single day for, as you should. Be confident about what you know. Be confident about how you see things. Be confident about, you knowing a certain kind of move is possible and then actually acting towards it, versus seeing it and being doubtful of like, oh, this might be a losing trade, this and that, versus the person that say, yo, listen, like, let's fucking go. Let's put that order in, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta pretty much be that kind of person that is confident about, what they've been studying, to actually be able to, take advantage of certain moves inside the market and profit. All right, so thanks for the question.
Other financial investments other than Forex, are you more of an, I'll research this thing to fully understand it before getting in, or do you just jump in ahead first and correct yourself as you go along? Any examples of this?
Yeah, the perfect example of that could be like when I started trading US 30. I was actually teaching a class in California, I had a friend that was trading US 30, and I was like, yo, like, what the hell is this? And then I looked it up. It's an index, blah, blah, blah. As you may know, like, an index is based off of stocks, which means that it's based off of the growth in certain business, based off of the top 30 companies inside the US. So I pretty much had, you know, that understanding, but I didn't really do super deep research. So when it came down to it, I started dabbling in US 30, like with super low lot sizes, just so I could actually get used to it. Because like when it comes to trading a new pair, you have to just be able to understand it first. You know, it's like saying, if you just met a girl, you don't expect to pretty much, you know, get to third base on the first date. You know, you gotta get to know her first. You gotta get to know her, see, you know, all the other stuff, because that's literally like what it's like. And eventually you'll get to a point that you know what I'm saying? And then so it's like I dabbled first to see like what the pair was about, this and that. I actually made like $700 off of like my first trade, which was like a 0.01, and I'm like, yo, like what the hell? Like this shit is crazy. So that's when I was like, you know what? I'm interested. You know, it's kind of like saying if you just met a girl and then she pretty much makes you laugh and whatnot, and then you're like, you know what? I'm interested. Same concept. So I was interested. And then I started getting more deep into like, hey, like what is US 30 really about? What makes it move? When does it move? And everything like that. So I could, you know, learn the full dynamics of the pair, so I could be a bit more consistent and confident with how I'm actually going about trading that certain pair. So that's my best advice when it comes to that. Thanks for the question.
How many students are in your academy? I am dedicated to joining a little bit because I want to take the time and actually learn.
No, you don't. You're a liar. You're a liar. What does the number of students inside Wall Street Academy, how does that benefit you? How? You gotta ask yourself that. How does knowing the amount of students in Wall Street Academy benefit you from making profit? I show 3,800 photos on IG showing my entire journey. Take time to fucking scroll back. You don't need to know how many students are in Wall Street Academy. See the growth of the brand. See the growth of students that's a part of the brand. Search the hashtag Wall Street Academy. Search the hashtag Forever in Profit. Learn about the business. What does knowing the amount of students inside the brand, how does that benefit you at all to even make profit? You're worried about the wrong things, bro. That's why you're not, you know, making progress. You're worried about the wrong things. Worry about how can this benefit me? Like, what do I have to do to actually benefit from this brand or this person? Numbers is none of your business. Simple.
Your advice on how to become a better trader, especially when you're doing a 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. shift job. Also, what's the right strategy to use when trading currency pairs, including Walling Street US 30?
For one, like I said before, like when you're at work, that's not your time. That's not your time to grow as a person into a craft that you actually want to eventually get better at and leave that job. When you're at work, you clocked in, that's pretty much the business time. And that's the reality of the situation, which means that if you're, for example, you get caught doing something else at work that you're not supposed to, that has nothing to do with the business, more than likely you get, you know, some kind of citation or something, or like a, you know, slap on the hand or something like that from the manager or some shit. So I feel like work on your craft after your shift. Work on your craft when it's your time to actually get better. Work on your craft once you pretty much clock out, you go home, and now start the fucking grind. So like the biggest thing like when it comes to you know, building a certain skill set in something is that knowing that it's not about what you do when you're at work, it's about what you do after work, it's about what you do when you're at home. Are you the person that's pretty much going home after work and sitting on your couch? Or are you the person that's going home and just turn on a video game and just playing it, thinking that's gonna get you better at trading? Or are you the person that pretty much get out of work, get straight up on the charts, get straight on the webinars, get straight on pretty much information that can pretty much help you better that certain craft? And you're being productive based off of you now getting off of that you know, that hourly time that you have at work, and you're putting time into yourself. So I feel like just knowing that, like, hey, like once you get out of work, that's your time to actually grow as a person. And then once you pretty much get to a certain point, you could then, you know, eventually leave that job to focus on that certain skill set. So like it's all about just like what you do after work, not at work. Okay, so that's how I would actually go about that.
I was wondering if Forex is gambling. The reason why I asked that is because recently my friend from Jamaica joined the Forex trade, but I have some doubt of it. I researched it and the trader, and I researched it, and the trader is saying that Forex is the ultimate form of gambling. I need your insights.
People that say it's gambling is fucking idiots. Like, straight up. Like, gambling is 50-50. That's what gambling is. Gambling is a 50% chance of doing something, right? Going to the casino is considered gambling. Like, rolling a dice is considered gambling because you have no control over how much information that you might know about that dice. That cannot help you. You know what I'm saying? It's a chance thing versus trading currencies or trading indexes, trading period. You have access to information that could pretty much give you better odds of winning while you're trading. That's not gambling. That's pretty much, you basing something off of an analysis. It's all educated analysis to actually go about, getting better at trading. You cannot look at information and get worse at trading. So I feel like you get more insight with trading that pretty much betters your chance of winning certain trades versus gambling. You cannot really do research and that kind of stuff. You can't look up a dice and see like, okay, a dice rolls like this and this and that, this and that, this and that. Like, that does not get you better at rolling sixes every single time. You know what I'm saying? So like, trading is definitely not a form of gambling. It's a craft that you can pretty much analyze and gain information from to better your odds at winning certain trades. So definitely not gambling. It's very educated. Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Megan and your wifey, I have chosen US 30. Can you please give me some advice on how I can better understand this pair? Things I can familiarize myself with in terms of news or analysis in order to better my trading.
Okay.
I've watched almost all your YouTube videos and they have helped me a lot. Thank you for putting them out there.
Definitely. Like I said before, like when it comes to US 30, it's based off the top 30 stocks, which means that you have to now dabble in stocks a little bit, or even like doing research based off those companies that are within that, Dow Jones category. I love going on investing.com, reading like, headlines on news articles and that kind of stuff, pretty much seeing how certain things are affecting certain markets and if things are getting better or worse. And that's what actually that's what gives me more insightful information to be able to actually confidently trade US 30 and know the direction of bias based off like what I'm analyzing from. So you have to just be able to actually dabble in stocks just a bit more, know about the companies, know where to actually find certain information to then better your insight. I like investing.com. I like Bloomberg. I like Investopedia. Anything that pretty much gives you news events or economic news based off of the Dow Jones platform. Okay, so that's what I'll actually do to actually get better insight like when it comes to trading US 30. As far as technical analysis and whatnot, it's not too far off from how I actually trade currencies, but at the same time, you're dealing with a pair that moves like 10 times faster. So you gotta pretty much understand the lot sizes are gonna be a bit different than the lot sizes on currencies, and how you actually, go about time frames, and how you go about time periods that you pretty much trade in. That period is gonna move at a different time based off of it being based off stocks. You know what I'm saying? Which means that 11 p.m. Eastern time at night is not going to really be moving on US 30 because the stock market is pretty much closed. It's going to start pushing at like around 8:30 Eastern time, and then go from there until until the stock market closes, and then the volatility of those certain stocks are decreased. So that's how I actually go about that. And just like dig in, do a lot of research on that. Take time out of your morning to pretty much do research on the Dow Jones platform. So when it comes to your technical side, you're a bit more insightful on the direction of bias. All right, thanks.
Platform anymore. So I've been using a parallel Microsoft desktop program that I downloaded. What do you use, or is it another way to have MT4 without the extras, or do I just have to switch to Windows? Okay, so it's two ways on how you could actually go about it. Based on the Mac platform, once you actually got to the Catalina version of Mac, that's when MT4 is not being supported based off of the bits. I think it's like 64 bits versus being at 32 bits. So the platform couldn't work anymore on the Catalina platform. But if you have a Mac that you upgraded to Catalina 2, then you're able to downgrade to El Capitan or like any other firmware that's pretty much below that Catalina platform. So like once you pretty much downgrade that laptop or the iMac, then you're able to actually use MT4 again. But if you buy a brand new MacBook or like iMac and it comes with
Catalina, then you can't downgrade because you didn't upgrade to that new version. So I feel like if you're in one of those situations, you could actually either downgrade or you could use the web platform, which certain brokers actually offer to actually trade on. But the thing with the web platform, you cannot install indicators, you can't install templates, which kind of sucks also because you can't have a sexy chart. So that's the downside of that. If you go the Windows route, the only downside of that is that TradingView is not going to look as crisp. So I feel like when it comes to trading, I've been using my Mac for years and years and years and years and years. Just recently, I've been trading a lot more on my Windows versus my MacBook because I have a new iMac, so I can't downgrade. So I just have to deal with it and just use my Windows to actually run everything because the MP4 platform is still supported 100% on the Windows platform versus a little bit of headache on the Mac platform until they actually come out with some kind of update, But till then, either use the web version or get Windows to actually, trade on. But the downside of that is going to be the quality of the resolution when it comes to TradingView. So yeah.
Cost of a supercar.
Okay.
It's obviously planned. Just wanted to know how much goes into the process generally, percent of car price, and how to go about the buying process, leveraging finance, dealing with depreciation, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even non-supercars, like just getting an M3 on lease, like you mentioned before, because of their depreciation instead, maybe even what cars usually hold value versus ones that drop like rocks.
Yeah, that's a dope question because I'm a car guy. I've always been a car guy my entire life. I'm going from a kid playing cruising inside the USA, Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, midnight club racing. The car question is pretty cool because that's a passion of mine. So I feel like people that have that same passion, you have to actually know how to actually go about things so you could save money and do it right. So when it comes to certain supercars, buying and leasing is the most important decision, right? When it comes to supercars, if you lease, you can't have fun with the car. So that's why my Lambo, I put half down of the car's full value. So I pretty much can say I really wanted a car versus putting the bare minimum. I want to pretty much knock out as much of that car's equity as much as possible so I can make payments and not stress about it, based off of that, and build credit at the same time. Only because that car holds value. So those kind of cars you can't really lease because they're already, a 2017 or 2016 car. So you have to pretty much want the car. The Ferrari, really wanted a car. I don't want to pretty much use credit, that kind of stuff. So it's paid outright, right? My M3, I put down let's say at a time it was $85,000. I put down only $5,000, $6,000, and that means my payment was about $800, $900 a month, right? Now M3s or M4s, they're going for about 84,000. 54,000. But you can't lease them anymore because I had leased mine, only because they drop in value. As you can see, it dropped from 80,000 plus to now only being worth 50,000. Around that price range in just a couple years. So it didn't really make sense to even buy that car outright, knowing that you're gonna lose a lot of money on the car. So that's the kind of car that you pretty much just drive and don't really care about because it doesn't really hold value. That's not one of those cars that you pretty much hold for equity in the future and whatnot. You pretty much just get it, drive it out, and just give it away and that kind of stuff. So with the M3, I'll say if it's let's say 50,000 for the M3, put down and now the leasing is not an option, right? Put down, let's say, half of the car's value, and then pretty much, finance the rest of the car. So you pretty much are building credit at the same time versus not getting any kind of benefits from even, driving the car, because when you buy a car outright, it's not benefiting credit at all, all right? Going the route of a new M3, I feel like would be the best bet because for one, you're getting a brand new car. For two, you're getting 0 miles. For three, you're still kind of paying a similar amount the car monthly payments that you would with a car that is now used. So you're getting a brand new car, you're putting the bare minimum down because remember when it comes to leases, you're putting a percent down of the overall car's value. So if an M3 costs 85,000 brand new, you're only going to be financing, let's say $30,000 worth of the car. So that's going to be the lease agreement versus financing 85,000 for the entire car. So you're only financing a certain portion of the car with the leases, and you could pretty much get a lease for 10,000 miles a year and not stress about it, because you know that the car is going to be fun for the time being, but at the same time, you don't want to keep that car and own it. So going the lease route, you can have a brand new car, have your fun, give it away, and if you really want that car back, you could pretty much, either buy it inside the future for like at a lower price for like a used version, and save a lot of money that way. So with the M3s and that kind of stuff, like just understand that like the lease options on those cars could be really, really good, and you can still have your fun. You can still modify it. You can put exhaust, your suspension. You could put all the upgrades that you want to. I mean, don't change the motor now, but at the same time, you could do like enough upgrades to actually have fun with the car, and not be paying a shit ton of money and holding on to a liability at that point. So I'll definitely say go the lease route, like when it comes to a car that is just like for driving and fun, versus a car that is meant to be held for investment purposes or to gain equity over time, or is a collector's edition type car. So supercars versus like that everyday car that you could rack up miles on it and not care about it. There's definitely different ways on how to actually go about it, because it's either you go the supercar route that you really want the car to actually put half the money down for the car, or pay it off, or get a car that pretty much you're gonna say fuck it, like I'll run up the miles and not care. Go the lease route, a brand new car, and you get like a dope ass lease agreement, and not pay a shit ton of money, and not hold on to that liability for too long.
A trading account. I will not lie and tell you some soft story. The truth is that I do not come from a rich family, but we are not living on the streets, and for that I'm grateful. Now you're probably thinking, why did I message you? I want you to know that I have this dying wish to be successful like you one day, and I wanted you to help me achieve that. I have a passion for trading. I love it. Everything about it excites me. Whether it's entering a swing trade or playing the waiting game or watching how crazy the markets can be on NFP. I love trading just like you do, and that's something we have in common. Would you please be so kind to fund me an account? It would mean the world to me, as if I'm not old enough to qualify for a job, and I would really be able to help my mother out this way.
You don't want it bad enough. You don't want it bad enough, because I was never the person to pretty much ask for a handout to fund my trading account. You could do a lot of things to make money without having a job. You could, have that entrepreneur type mindset and, sell candy. Because that's what I was doing like back in high school, and unlocking iPhones and unlocking PSPs and jailbreaking PSPs, and like there's other ways on how to make money than a job. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't hit me with that sob story. It's not the way on how to go to actually become a successful entrepreneur, because if you are wanting to be a successful entrepreneur, you will figure it out. And don't ask for handouts, because when you figure it out, you deserve to be successful, versus the person that has a handout. They're not experiencing or even growing into the person that pretty much is ready for that level of success, because they were just given handouts and they didn't, actually gain the experience that they needed to actually have a stronger mindset to actually, make money some other way than a job, to then reinvest it into what they actually want to reinvest into. So, enough with the sob stories, man. It's either you get on your shit, or you get, you don't get to where you want to be. Simple as that. So get on your shit, man. No handouts.
There with analyzing the market, but I still really struggle with my mindset and overall confidence. I understand that with time comes development, but how do I realistically overcome the fear, the sadness, and anger that can come with trading? I really want to succeed, but I fuck up sometimes by jumping the gun or not getting in. But overall, my analysis is more times right. After years of trading, could you please tell me what type of advice that you wish that you could have told yourself, or what you would have said or recommend to anyone struggling with the mental aspect of trading?
Keep on going. Like I've blown tons of accounts. I've lost tons of money. But the difference between a person that's pretty much successful in trading and not successful in trading is either you get a loss and you understand what happened with that loss and how it could actually became a win, or how you could have understood that move a lot more, or you get a loss and you start crying. You know what I'm saying? It's either that. It's binary. It's either you try to understand where you went wrong to fix it for next time, or you just give up and just start, crying wolf and that kind of shit. So I feel like it's not about the advice all too much. It's about you being strong-minded, and then pretty much wanting to keep on going, and taking accountability for your actions, like when it comes to trading, your losses, your wins. Like take accountability. Like, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And then just understanding what went wrong and what you should have done based off of your level of education. Because if you're not basing everything off of your education, then you're not gonna really grow anywhere. So I feel like invest in education, invest in something that could actually get your mindset right. I love Gary Vee. I love people that pretty much, speak on mindset and speak on greed and speak on, having the drive to just want to keep on going regardless of how many times that you fail. But you can't actually just say, you're gonna, you're like sad and that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, losing is a part of the game. You're gonna lose until you pretty much understand why you're losing, and then you're tweaking that. Like, trading is all about tweaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like with the way I trade, it's literally, I'll have tons of losses, loss, and then pretty much after every single loss, I'm understanding what went wrong. And next time around that similar situation arises, my eyes are a bit more trained now to pretty much go about things a bit differently. That would have turned it into a loss again. So so that's how I'll actually go about that personally.
The question for you is on time management. How do you manage your daily schedule while trading? You're constantly updating social media with Forex tips, responding to an insane amount of comments/questions, and make time to enjoy yourself with friends and family while trading successfully. How?
Time management is key. Like you said, knowing how much time you want to pretty much spend on a certain, area of your day, which is the most important thing. Like I wake up. For one, I'm engulfed in what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I wake up. Let's say around 7:30. Instantly, I'm on the charts. I probably already have trades in from the that current night. I have trades in that I'm probably even analyzing and trying to maintain. After that, I get up. I'm on the computer for a couple hours. I'm knocking out as much computer work as possible. It could be answering emails. It could be answering IG messages. It could be certain comments that I want to respond to. I'm pretty much putting time into the media aspect of things. So like I put time towards all those things so everything can be satisfied. There's certain times that I don't get everything done, but I take accountability for that. But at the same time, it's not as if anything that I do has to be done in a timely manner, so either write down what has to get done for that day, make phone calls, make texts, pretty much do everything out, and have it all scheduled. Either I'm going to the gym, and then after the gym I'm meeting up with Danny for like a video, and then like everything's pretty much on a schedule. But times that is between that, the family aspect of things is always there. So I can still family time and still knock out certain emails and that kind of stuff. So like I feel like since I work so digitally, me spending time with family and friends and that kind of stuff doesn't really slow me down too much, unless I have to actually be somewhere at a certain time for a certain reason. So me being able to actually work digitally, I could do two things at once and pretty much keep in contact with people on Instagram and post and that kind of stuff. But I don't have to be at a certain place to pretty much post, or a certain place to answer a certain email and that kind of stuff. So everything's on my phone. But I try to actually prioritize how much time I'm spending in a certain area. Like if I go see a friend, I don't want to spend all day there. I'm only going to be there probably for a couple hours or something like that, because I have other things that I have to get done or people that I have to meet. So every day is kind of like just clockwork. And based around all that, family can still be, I can still have my quality time with Macy and my daughter and that kind of stuff. So it's not as if I'm locking everything out and I can't take on more tasks and spend time because I have to be somewhere. So since it's digital, I feel like it makes it a lot more easier to just, still get better in interacting with people that I care about and that kind of stuff. So I feel like since it took me 5-6 years to get accustomed to that schedule, which is just very, very demanding, I still haven't mastered that schedule, but I try very, very hard to make sure that I knock out as much super important things as possible. Like I have important things like computer work, gym, just so I could actually maintain a certain lifestyle, so I try to make sure that those 4 or 5 things that has to be done is executed as much as possible. If I miss 1 or 2 things, that's fine, but it's not as if it's based off of a timeline. Like I don't have to, you know, do it every single day, but at the same time, if I do it, I'm getting better as a person. So it's kind of like a perk. So yeah, so it's all about just like understanding like what things have to 100% get done every single day, focusing on those things throughout the entire day, and between those things, you're spending time with family and people that you care about. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it. All right. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm not too sure how many questions I was. I think that's like about 15 questions. Hopefully, you know, that information helped you, like how I actually gave my insight, that kind of stuff based off experience. Hopefully people can actually, you know, take that information and take action, you know, because a person can talk all day, but at the same time, if you're not taking action based off of advice that you're getting, you're not really doing anything from it. So, you know, use the information, you know, make the best out of it. And I mean, you too can, you know, reach all of your goals that you put your mind to, and just actually put an effort every single day towards, you know, a certain craft that you actually want to get better at. And yeah, man, that's about it. But thanks everyone for the questions. I love them a lot. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next YouTube video. Peace.